Welcome to the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back aboard the Streamboat for another movie.
Another movie.
Yeah.
That's what we do. A Danish movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Sam's wildcard movie.
Yes, a wild card choice from
Yeah.
our Patreon, Sam Mulholland.
This movie is called Another Round. Another Round was released in 2020. It's a 12/8. It runs for 1 hour and 57 minutes and is currently rated at 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. 7.7.
I can see why.
Yeah. People like this sort of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's absolutely get into it. Why not? That's what we're here for. This film stars a guy called Mads Mikklesen. He plays a character called Martin. You will know him. He was in Hannibal.
He was.
He was in Fantastic Beasts now.
Was. He was now, yes.
He is in Fantastic Beasts now. He's been in loads of stuff.
Upgrade on Johnny Depp.
Yeah, well. He's been in loads of stuff, and you will know him. Thomas Bo Larson is in this. He plays a character called Tommy. You might not know him. He's been in a few bits and bobs, but nothing mainstream in this country or in the English language world. Magnus Milang plays Nicolaj. Again, you won't know really. You're not going to know a lot about any of the people in this film, I don't think, apart from Mads Mikkelsen. Written by Thomas Vinterberg and Tobias Lindholm.
Okay.
And directed by Thomas Vinterberg, who got an Oscar nomination for this very film.
Well, let's tackle that one straight
Shall
away.
we indeed?
Is this movie bottom of the stream?
The one thing I haven't mentioned is this film also won an Oscar for Best International Feature.
Also won a BAFTA.
It also won a BAFTA for the same.
Yeah.
I
don't think being an award winner necessarily means you're top of the stream.
No, I agree. And
so I don't think it's an easy sort of line to draw.
No. The rule of Bottom of the Stream has always been, if me and you haven't heard of this film, then it can go on this list.
Yeah.
It's bottom of our stream. However, I feel like we would have heard of this film because we would have watched the Oscar ceremony.
I think that when it was suggested, I was like, no, I'm happy for it to be on the list because I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Until I actually looked into what it was and then think, oh, maybe I have heard of it.
Yeah.
Or I'm aware of it. I don't know anything about it.
Same.
It's not really on my radar.
I think it's as close as we've come to doing a film that we shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
That's not our fault.
No, it's Sam's fault.
You wanted us to do it. We're doing it. That's fine.
I feel like it's
I
maybe...
think you can make an argument that it is.
It maybe is more...
Toward the bottom of the stream.
Yes.
I don't think it's dwelling in the detritus that most of our movies are.
There's not many people going onto Netflix and thinking, I'm going to watch that Danish film that won that Oscar that year. I don't think.
I don't know.
But who knows? Yeah. I hadn't heard of it. Well,
you're not going to see it in the Netflix top 10.
No, you're not.
No chance.
Because it's... Well, we'll get to that. It won Best International Feature at the 2021 Oscar ceremony, and Thomas Vinterberg was nominated for Best Director that year. Lost out to Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. Do you have a one-word review?
I think this has got to be the most simple one-word review I've ever had to do.
Go on.
Drink. What else could it be?
What else could it be? This film was about drinking.
Yeah.
And getting drunk and alcohol.
Does this film glamorise drinking? Let's cut straight to the hot potato.
I struggle with the message of this movie. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yes, I think it probably does. But also, no, I don't think it does. But I think it doesn't, but I don't think they noticed that it didn't.
Right, okay.
Can I talk about the very end now? Is that weird?
No.
Somebody dies at the end of this movie and nobody notices.
Not for very long.
That's what I mean.
No, he dies. He
does
say he comes back to life. I don't mean he dies for not very long. I mean...
He also dies of alcoholism.
Quickly forgotten.
Yes, very quickly.
He does die of alcoholism.
And very quickly his friends who are also alcoholics forget about it.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that somewhat. But let's get to it, shall we? Where does this film start, Nick?
I feel like I could have just said this once this season and we could just,
keep
play it at the start of every episode. But we've got some words on the screen.
It happens. It's crazy how it's become a season 8 trope. It's never really happened before, but it has happened again this week. It makes no sense. It says...
It's a quote from Kierkegaard.
It is. What is youth? The dream. What is love? The content of the dream. Go on. Explain it. What's it got to do with this film to start with?
Well, I think Mads Mikkelsen's character Martin is struggling with
Not being a young man anymore?
not necessarily aging, but not. Yeah,
Not
being
achieving
down
what he
with the
wanted to
kids.
achieve by this time in his life?
Yeah,
Not being cool?
I always think it reminded me. This just is how my brain works, and the fact we've both watched The Office over this year.
Finished The Office.
Oh, amazing.
I didn't even mention it on the wave. I finished The Office the other day.
When we tie that up later.
Yeah, we'll tell that on next week's wave.
But
There isn't a wave next week. We'll do it the week after's wave.
that's fine. And I kind of reminded of. I think Andy says it at one point about. And I think this is really sweet. Where he
I know
where
exactly
he says the problem with the good old days is that you don't know they're the good old days whilst you're living them.
Yeah.
And then you become sad about them later on because you can't get that back. And I
think it's the most poignant moment in The Office.
It's right
so
up there.
true.
And that's what kind of
That's what this movie's about.
This message, this Kierkegaard quote really reminded me of. But I'll take it from Andy in The Office more than
Same.
famous philosophers and minds of the century. But there we go. That's kind of the vibe.
The vibe we're getting. So we cut from that to a load of school-aged teen kids doing a run around a lake.
Yeah.
They're basically having some sort of competition.
End of year, summer.
Get drunk,
Yeah.
running around a lake. They have to, every stop on this run, they have to drag down a bottle of beer, carry the crate with them all the way
They
around.
divide into pairs.
Yeah.
They have to carry this crate of beer.
Yeah.
And at every stop, they have to down
a bottle.
Do the full lap of the lake.
Yeah.
Down the last bottle. First team back wins.
Simple as that.
It's like
It seems
a local tradition.
Local tradition, yeah. Two lads win, and then we have a montage of drunken antics following that. And credits roll over this at the same time.
They're creating chaos on a train or a tram, aren't they? They handcuff one of the conductors.
Yeah, they're just being
rail.
Unruly youths.
Yeah.
We cut from the credits to a faculty meeting in a school, teachers' meeting. The principal is discussing banning alcohol from the school premises.
They're talking about the events we've just witnessed.
Yeah, what we've just witnessed.
The
the kids have gone out of control. Yeah. They're talking about banning the consumption of alcohol at the school. Yeah. Which I feel like probably should have been a thing already.
I think it's like a university.
It is more of a college / university.
They're all of age.
Yeah, they're all of age to be drinking. And then there's a teaching montage where we meet our four main characters in this film.
Yep.
So you've got Tommy. Martin's our main character.
He teaches history.
Tommy
is a PE teacher.
Nicolaj.
Psychology.
And Peter.
Music.
Yes. I did that off my head then. I
Well
haven't
done.
written them all
Just
down.
because you're shit with names usually.
Yeah, I am.
I'm impressed.
It helps that they've got mainly anglicised names, which is nice. Nobody's called Sven or anything like that. Nicolaj is probably as close as you're getting. Nobody's really into it. All four of them are not enjoying teaching, shall we say. That's how this film
They're in a rut.
They're all in a rut. They're all middle-aged male teachers.
Yeah.
One of them's just about to turn 40, and I've just called him middle-aged. That's really bad. They're all like...
They all look like, if they're 40, they've had a rough paper round.
One of them is their 40th birthday party they go out for, but... Okay. Martin goes home to his family.
You look better than that, that's all I'm saying.
So do you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Martin goes back to his family. He's got a wife and 2 sons. His wife works nights, and so they don't really see a lot of each other. They're
ships
not
in the night.
they're like passing ships in the night. He asks her if he's boring, and that's the second time this season somebody's asked if they're boring in 2 of our films.
And she not very well tries to avoid the question, but then kind of
she basically says yes.
Right, she says, "You're not the man I met."
Yeah, because you're now really boring. Yeah, it's worse. It's much worse. And he kind of takes that on the chin a little bit. He's like, "Oh, I thought you were going to say no, I love you," but you didn't. Then he's called into a meeting at the school, and
he's ambushed. Basically,
I've written here ambush.
Yeah,
he's ambushed by the parents and students from his class.
And the head teacher's like stitched him up. Yeah, she's like, "I've set this up.
They want to have a chat with you. Some of your students and all of their parents want to have a chat with you. They're in your classroom. And
basically, they're concerned that
his teaching style
he's not covering the material, and basically he's a shit teacher.
Yeah,
and they haven't got the knowledge or the help to pass this exam.
Yeah, should an exam come along, they wouldn't pass it, is basically what they're saying. They confront him about his indifference towards the subject matter, basically. So he basically just sits in front of the class and reads a textbook. Yeah. That's what he's doing. That's his job.
He's tuned out,
Yeah. That night, Martin goes to a party with his 4 teaching colleague friends. Well, it's like a meal, isn't it? Yeah. But he's the only one not drinking. He's driving, so he's on water.
This is Nicolaj's 40th.
Yeah, it is. Nicolaj's 40th birthday party. And so 3 of them are drinking. Martin isn't drinking. It's a very posh restaurant.
He's Deso, isn't he?
Yeah, he's designated driver. They're eating caviar. It's like super posh restaurant.
And it's all like there's a sommelier sort of saying this wine has floral bouquets. And
you know the sort of place. But they're getting drunk, they're getting rowdy. And
there's a load of banter, and it's like shit dad banter.
Yeah.
And they also have some banter at Martin for basically being boring.
Yeah, because
you never drink. Yeah.
And then Nikolaj brings up this. He's been reading a paper by a Swedish philosopher.
Yeah.
And basically, this guy is theorizing that the blood alcohol level of a human should always be kept at 0.05%.
He says people are born with a deficit.
Yeah. It's the 0.05 is what we should top up to because we're born with a deficit of it. And it should be kept at that level at all times. So basically, you should always have a bit of drunk. You should always be. I sound like I am now. You should always be a bit drunk.
Have that level of alcohol.
0.05%
to maximise your potential. I think sort of the words.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Well, Martin, what do you reckon? You're someone who lacks self-confidence and joy.
Yeah, you've got no joy in your life. Your students all hate you. What do you think to this?"
Then they get served like posh vodka.
They do, yeah. And Martin decides he's going to have one.
Yeah.
Because he's intrigued by this philosopher's ideas.
Yeah.
So he does. He has a vodka. He's not driving for a few hours. He's fine to have one.
He has a sip to start with.
Yeah.
Then he finishes the glass.
And then he moves on to wine. Next couple of glasses of wine. And he basically spills the beans on his life. He's not happy with his life. He's not happy with his wife.
He says we barely see each other. Yeah. And he does get some sympathy at this point. They do rally round a bit. And
They're good. They're good friends.
See that he's opening up. And
at this point, they're all quite good friends.
And then they do a bit of reminiscing. It comes out that Martin used to do jazz ballet.
Apparently so. He's big into jazz ballet.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of
quite
jazz ballet.
Quite a talented dancer, this guy.
Yeah, apparently so.
So his friends tell us.
In his younger days, he was into this sort of thing.
And he's on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Dezo's out the window and
they're all drunk. They're all completely smashed as they walk away from this restaurant. They're kind of like wrestling in the streets and just being loud and boisterous 40-year-old men. Mads Mikkelsen's much older than 40. That teacher must be the youngest one.
Yeah.
The other 3 are a lot older than 40.
If I'd have been asked to put money on how old these are, none of these I'm picking as 40.
No.
There you go.
No, not me. Oh, and then we cut to the next day at school.
Yeah.
And Martin's living by this philosopher's rules now.
He goes and
has a drink in the school toilet.
Yeah, he hides himself away in a cubicle.
Yeah.
Picks a trap and takes a slug of vodka.
Yeah.
Goes right back to work.
Wants to keep himself at this 0.05 level and goes into work. He finishes that school day, goes to drive home, realises he shouldn't drive home, and isn't going to drive home. So he calls one of his mates over. Who gives him a lift home. Nicolaj is the other side of the road. He gives him a lift.
Nicolaj says, "Why can't you drive?"
Yeah,
and Martin shows him the bottle in his back. Nicolaj is like a kid at Christmas.
Fuck yes, I can't believe you're actually doing this. You're going through
you
with
fucking hero.
Yeah, he's like all over.
Right, go collect the others, lads.
We're doing this,
lads. Let's get together,
lads. Yeah, so he basically he gets the others together.
And they quiz him, don't they? Yeah. How did the day go? How did you feel?
Yeah. And he tells them all about it. He tells them the plan. He needs to be at or over 0.05% at all times.
Well, they all sign up to it.
Yeah, they're all going to do it.
They're going to write a paper.
Yeah.
Though. It's going to be a study.
A proper scientific experiment.
Yeah.
Where they study if this is a good idea or not. And then we see them start to write the essay. It comes up on the screen, doesn't it? This essay they're starting to write.
So they have some rules, though.
Yep.
So no drinking after 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And none at weekends.
Yes.
So they've basically flipped.
Only drink during working hours.
Yeah.
That's basically their main rule, is only drink during working hours.
And try to hit that 0.05.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We leave the other guys then. We stay with Nicolaj for a little bit and we find out that his family life isn't great either.
So he's got 3 young kids.
Very young kids. One of them
very close together.
Yeah. One pees on him at this point.
Yeah, none of them sleep separately. So he says, "Oh, I'm getting no sleep."
Yeah, he's knackered. He's tired. One of the kids sleeps on him and pees on him.
He gets pissed on by his kids.
And then Martin, we cut to the next school day at school. The school day at school, and Martin teaches the hell out of a class.
Yeah, but he's bought a breathalyzer.
Yes,
so we're getting scientific now.
We're going scientific.
So he's still taking his slug of vodka.
Yeah,
but he's
making sure he's at that right level.
0.05.
Yeah. He teaches the hell out of a class. He goes in there. He's vibrant. He's engaging with all the kids. He's giving them what they need. They're all getting engaged with him. He
does this, and I'm pretty sure my history teacher did something like this. I think it's quite a trope.
Was he probably drunk though?
Well, possibly. But it was the whole. He gave 3 anonymous profiles.
Yes.
Which of these people would you vote for?
Yeah.
This guy with all these drinking problems, blah blah blah. This guy with all these,
crimes that he's committed.
Yeah. This guy, stand up.
Yeah. Never drunk a drop in his life.
Yeah, no criminal record, stand up
family guy.
They all vote for that guy.
Yeah, because you did.
It's Hitler.
Of course it is.
The other two are like Churchill and FDR.
Yeah.
And the class is engaged.
Yeah, they're fully engaged for the first time. We cut to Thomas. He's also teaching the hell out of a music class.
Peter,
sorry.
And Tommy's coaching football.
Tommy's coaching kids football.
Yeah.
They're doing really well.
Yeah.
They have a quick meeting just to see if it's going well. Tommy he's teaching these kids football, and one of the kids has forgotten his water.
Yeah.
And he can't offer the kid his water because it's actually vodka.
And I thought later in this movie that's going to happen. One of them's going to get like drunk and pick up the wrong water bottle. But no, that didn't.
It does not happen. They do call the kid with glasses Specs, which is a bit harsh. That was a bit harsh. But it turns out he's quite good at football, so it's fine.
And he loves Tommy.
Yes, he loves him.
It's like his coach is like looked after him.
He's a hero,
he's
like a father figure to him.
So that's a nice little relationship.
Yeah, it was.
Martin gets home and it's one of those sort of, he's quite animated.
Yes.
And he says to his wife, Annika, "Oh, should we go on vacation this year?"
Yeah, he's cooking a dinner, isn't he?
And she instantly goes, "What the fuck's wrong with you?
You've changed overnight. What's happened?" He wants to take a canoeing. Yeah. Wants to go on a canoeing holiday like they used to. And she's like, "We haven't done that for like 8 years."
Yeah.
But
what have you done with my husband?
What have you done with my husband? We cut back to Tommy is the sports teacher, yes. Yeah. The janitor's found his stash.
Yeah, in the PE cupboard.
He's got quite a big stash. It's every nook and cranny.
Everywhere. Rolled up in like the volleyball net and
in like the gym mat.
Yeah.
The janitor's found his stash anyway.
Tommy's like, "I'd never thought anyone came in here."
Yeah. And turns out the janitor does. The principal of the school calls a meeting. She thinks the students are drinking in the PE closet.
Yeah.
They're not. So they decide the guys then get back together and they're like, "We need to be a bit more careful about this. We can't be like hiding bottles around the school."
Well, in the same meeting, so on one side they say, "Right, we've got to be more careful. We've got to cover our tracks."
Yeah.
And then Martin sort of pipes up and says, "This is going really well.
There's something to this."
I feel energized.
Yeah.
I've not taught this well for years.
Yeah.
I would like to push it further.
Yeah. I need to keep going with this. This is working for me.
But he wants to go higher.
Yes. So they write some more of their essay. They decide to go a little bit higher.
Well, they decide, what I took from this, sort of part 2 of the paper, is they decide to individually tailor their performance.
Go to a level.
So where they feel is optimum.
A comfortable level.
Yeah, and track that.
Then there's a montage of pictures of drunken world leaders.
Yes, there is. Which is mostly Boris Yeltsin falling over.
Boris Johnson's in there at one point. I think Neil Mellor was in it. Bill Clinton. Every time a world leader's been drunk, there's a montage of that. I don't really see what was going on, but that's what's happening. Then 0.6% comes up on the screen, which seems to be Martin's new level. That's where he's heading to. Which is a lot more than 0.05%.
No, he starts that. He goes all the way to 1.2.
He does at some point, but at this point it goes to 0.6. Percentage keeps going up to the point where Martin is now full on drunk at school.
Yeah, he has to get a Uber to work.
Yes.
And then he waltzes into the staff room.
Yeah.
He's doing all this like spinning around and
happy
trying
drunk.
to get a coffee and then walks into a door frame.
Accidentally walks into a door frame, smashes his face open.
Someone very drunk, desperately pretending and thinking they're doing a great job.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Being sober.
We've all been there. Tommy fixes him up, stops his bloody nose, and He then goes and teaches a class about drink and about drunken with the world leaders, and he brings up Churchill again. He brings up Hemingway, Ulysses Grant, famous drunks basically, and his school class all love him.
Yeah, and they're telling him about the lake race.
Yeah, because he's asking them about it and that sort of thing. He's at 0.1% at this point.
And Nikolaj walks past, and he's like agog at the window of the classroom because he sees all this cheering and whooping. And
Martin's class is fully engaged with him. He books a canoe trip for his family, but his wife says she's busy and she can't go.
Yes. So I've took a shift.
Yeah, I've took a shift for the whole of this holiday. I didn't really understand it. Nikolaj then decides he's going to get a bit drunker as well. He's going to raise his level.
He's trying to snort it as well.
Yeah, never good. Tommy
he gets up to like 0.9, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Tommy also then decides he's doing that as well. He's going to raise his level whilst he's training his kids who have suddenly got really good at football.
Yeah, and this was a nice scene. This is where he takes the nerd kid under his wing.
Yeah, and
he scores.
He scores. Specs scores a goal.
Earns the friendship of his team, doesn't he?
Peter finds a sad student, is my next note.
Yes. He's stressed.
He's stressed.
He's retaking the year.
He's retaking the year and he's still not doing well. He's worried about these upcoming exams.
He's like, I bottle it in exams.
Yeah, can't do exams. I'm getting really stressed about it.
It doesn't matter how much I study, how well prepped I am. I just, on the day,
can't do it. Guess what Peter suggests for him?
You need to relax a bit, mate.
Have you tried a drink?
Yeah.
Have you thought about having a drink? Okay. Then Martin and his family are on a canoeing/camping trip. Yeah. So she must have got out of the shift that she took. And then they pitch these tents. There's two teenage boys with their sons.
Yeah.
And
they pitch tents next to each
pitch
other.
tents next to each other.
Remember, Martin's dry now.
Yeah. He's not drinking at this point. Yeah. He's not dry though.
But he's still. Well, no, he's been in a canoe, and he's
also nailing his wife in the tent.
in a canoe, and but they're doing like family guessing games and stuff, and everyone seems to be having a good time.
Yeah, his wife definitely seems to be having a good time.
They just absolutely hammer each other.
They really do, and the tents are not far apart.
No,
it must have been like quite disturbing for these two boys.
But then he finishes up and she just starts crying.
She does. He's
like, oh,
you haven't done that for ages. Nikolaj.
They say, oh, I've missed this. I miss you.
I miss you. That's why she's crying. That's why she said that. That's why she's crying, because she misses him.
Yeah.
And now he appears to be back. Nikolaj wants to take this to the next level. He wants to go total oblivion, is his words.
Just to see what had happened.
Yeah, and Martin's like, nah, I'm done. I'm out.
I was like,
I'm found my level. I'm happy.
I want to get off.
Good.
Stop
I'm getting off this train.
Yeah. Tommy's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if there's something lost in the translation.
Yeah.
Because they weren't saying, obviously, let's get absolutely loaded and then go to work.
No.
They were just like, let's get blasted and see how much we can drink.
Yeah, see how far
I didn't understand what that was giving the experiment, because they weren't going to compare it to then working.
Is this the start of an addiction coming through? And we need to keep going with it. We need to keep getting drunk. We're enjoying
this.
Push the more we can push it, the better. Yeah. They start drinking absinthe cocktails. They're like making cocktails out of absinthe and all sorts.
Because Peter, the music teacher, was like a jazz aficionado.
Yeah,
and he's like, this is what the guy, used to drink back in the Prohibition, and it's. Coats all the inside of the glass with absinthe and
there's other cocktail ingredients in there. Martin decides he's going to leave. He's not up for this. But then eventually he decides he's actually going to stay and join in.
He takes a sip.
It's
the same as what happened.
They're like, try the sip of this absinthe cocktail. It's really nice. And they all get absolutely blind drunk. They're wasted.
Yeah, and we cut to a title card again. It says part 3 of the study now.
Yeah.
Maximum BAC.
Yeah. Blood alcohol content.
Correct.
1.8% comes up on the screen. They go shopping. They need to get some more supplies.
Oh, it's because before they started this absinthe cocktail thing, Nikolaj's wife had said, don't forget to pick up the fish for dinner.
Yeah, need some fresh cod.
Yeah. So they decide to go to the supermarket.
Go to the supermarket to get some fresh cod. They don't get any. They're absolutely smashed.
No, so one of them knocks over like a shelf.
Yeah, the one falls into a shelf. They eventually get thrown out of this shop.
So they can't find any fresh cod in the supermarket.
So what do you do?
Go fishing.
Of course you do. Off the side of a dock.
Yeah.
If you're going to catch a cod in a harbour.
And Martin's like, I quite liked the drunk acting here.
They all acted drunk very well. All 4 of them did.
Martin spins this fishing net around, right, and he starts using it as like just a pole.
Yeah.
And one of the guys said, "What are you doing? You're not going to catch anything." He's like, "No, I'm going to stab a crab. And once I've got a crab on the end of this pole, I'm going to use that as bait, and we're going to fetch you your cod."
I'm not sure that'd work, but it's worth a try.
And then Peter just falls in.
He falls in the water, falls in the sea.
And swims off. He's like, "See you later. I'm just going to keep swimming.
I'm going to get out on the other side."
Yeah.
So they decide to go to the pub.
Yeah, out in town.
Why not?
Peter's wet.
Yeah.
Just takes his clothes off.
Yeah, just in a pub naked.
In a towel.
Yeah. They don't buy any drinks from this pub.
Well, I thought like a party. There
was a good party, wasn't it? And they steal 2 optics from the pub.
One of them distracts like the barkeep.
Yeah. And the other one steals the optics. Not only the bottles from the optics, the actual optics from the wall.
Lifts them off the wall.
Lifts them off the wall. So they do that, they steal them, and then they leave. We cut then to, I presume later that evening, Nikolaj is in bed with his wife, and now she gets peed on.
By him?
He pees on her.
Yeah.
So it's full circle. Everybody's getting peed on in this house. Ever been peed on?
I mean... Yes.
Involuntarily?
Involuntarily?
Yeah. Not on purpose.
Oh, right. No, I've never been to like a wee party or anything.
Does that exist?
Yeah, probably. That's Boris Johnson. I have...
Nicola Sturgeon.
Yeah.
Wee party.
Like the Crankies. Right. This is going off course. Yes, I've got two young children. Of course, I've been pissed on.
Nikolaj is so drunk that he's like, right, I need to do my breathalyzer.
Yeah.
But what he's doing is blowing into the baby monitor.
That's a good joke.
It's a great joke.
Yeah.
That's how drunk he is.
And his wife's like, that's the fucking baby monitor. You're an idiot.
You're an absolute drunk idiot. Yeah. Martin's neighbours find him passed out drunk in the street. And one of his kids has to take him
He's done
home.
that old thing, hasn't he? Where
He's gone to the wrong house.
Yeah, he's tried to put a key. Why is my key not working? Yeah. It's not your house, mate.
It's not my house.
Yeah.
He's passed out drunk in somebody's garden. One of his kids happens to walk past. Do you?
Yeah. Fell asleep in the front garden. He was so close to his house as well. Literally next door.
I slept in my back garden once because I couldn't get in the front door.
Okay.
I was so drunk I just slept on the grass in the back garden.
Mine was the same guy. We went to a party once.
Yeah.
And he turned up at work the next morning in one brown shoe, one black shoe.
Nice.
Neither of them were his.
Oh, that's impressive. How do you do that? Did he steal 2 pairs of shoes? Or,
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's incredible.
That was after a works party.
I love it. Yeah, one of his teenage sons has to carry him home drunk. It's not very dignified. And one of his they kind of sit him down, don't they, and confront him about his drinking. And he's like, Martin says, I've just had a little drink.
Just has got him.
Yeah.
Absolutely strung up. Because, when he comes back down later in the day, they're having dinner, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
it was a nice line from this.
His wife says, would you like to explain to our children what the hell's happened last night?
Yeah.
And he says, look, I just went out with my friends. We had too much to drink. And his son absolutely nails him. He says, yeah, but you've been drunk for a while, haven't you, Dad? Be honest.
It's hard. It's a line.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
And it floors him.
Yeah, completely. Takes him off. Takes him out. Him and his wife have a bit of an argument.
She sees an opening here.
Yeah.
Because she's got other things on her mind.
Yeah.
His wife, Annika. And she says, I'm not even bothered about the booze.
Yeah.
She's like, the booze isn't a problem. It's the fact that you've not been here for years.
Yeah.
I think she calls him like the invisible man or something.
Yeah, you're never there. You're completely invisible. That's what she says.
And so it's like, yeah, let's all put our cards on the table here, Martin.
Yeah. And then Martin does. He puts his cards on the table. He asks her outright, are you cheating on me?
Yeah.
And she is.
Which,
basically,
I thought this was a really good scene. But I was like, we'd never had that externalized that that's what he was worried about.
No, not at all.
Because it just came out completely out of the blue.
I don't know if he was even thinking about it. I think he was just trying to
still pissed and
throwing stuff at her.
But she doesn't deny it.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
She admits it.
She said, "Well, no," she says. I think it's worse the effect of, "Well, I wasn't going to wait for you forever."
Yeah, which is admitted.
Yeah, of course it is.
He kicks her out. He's like, "You need to get out. You need to leave."
He's like, you cheated on me. You fucking get out of this house.
But then...
Look what you're doing to this family. But then he leaves.
Then he leaves. He eventually changes his mind. He's like, right, I'm going to go. So he goes...
It was intense. It was a good scene.
It was a good scene, to be fair.
Yeah, everyone did a good job.
And then he goes and gets drunk with his boys.
Let's just carry on.
Yeah.
They've not sobered up.
No, not at all.
From the jazz cocktails.
That sounds wrong.
Just come round to my house. We'll give each other some jazz cocktails.
I'm in.
Merry Christmas.
So yeah, more of that goes on. They write a bit more of their essay. The principal calls another school meeting.
Well, they kind of agree that that's it.
The study's over.
Study's over. We've gone to the limit.
Yeah, we can't take it any further.
And because you sort of see, like you say, as someone's typing, you see the words come on stream, and it says, we're going to end the study due to the immense negative effects at this level. And possibly, I can't remember what the exact words are. It's something like opening the door towards possible alcoholism.
Yeah, it's not good.
So yeah, we cut to
the school.
Maybe a couple of days later.
Maybe.
I don't know.
The principal has called another meeting because she knows now that members of the teaching staff have been drinking whilst at school.
Yeah.
She's found this out.
She says, I've had multiple reports.
Yeah, of drunk teachers on school premises. Yeah. Not good. What's worse than that?
But she hasn't got a name.
She has not got a name, or she doesn't know who's been doing it. She finds out pretty quickly because Tommy walks in.
Late.
Drunk. Massively drunk.
Yeah. Smashed
out of his face.
He passes out.
He does, he passes out. Martin grabs him and takes him home.
The other three are sober, but just to clarify. Yeah.
Martin takes him home, takes him back to where he lives, which is the same as home. I don't know why I just said that twice. When he eventually comes round, because he passes out on his bed, Martin is still there. He's cleaned up his flat a little bit.
Yeah, made him some dinner.
And Tommy really doesn't understand what he's done. He doesn't remember going into school like that.
He kind of... He brushes it off, doesn't he? He's like, look, I'm still in control.
Yeah.
I'll sort the stuff out at school.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're getting fired in the morning, mate.
Yeah, 100%. If you've not already.
Yeah.
And they kind of argues with Martin a little bit. Tommy says, look, thanks for all your help, but you need to go now. I'm done. And you need to stay away from me as well.
I think one of the things I didn't like about this movie is that I felt like we had enough time to play with the running time of this movie. But I felt like we've gone pedal to the metal really quickly here. Of suddenly,
Tommy's out of control.
Tommy's now got a massive drinking problem.
Yeah, and it didn't really build up to anything, did it? It just it builds up to something.
Yeah, but we hadn't had that build up that he was high risk.
No,
so we don't know more than the others.
We probably know less about him than we do about any of the others,
and maybe that's why it wasn't as effective.
Possibly,
sure.
Yeah, maybe.
But I was just like, oh, we're doing this, are we? We're doing this. This guy's literally a risk to life, his own life.
To his own, this is like, we've gone to this level.
This has gone quick.
A minute ago, they were laughing about falling in the sea, and now all of a sudden it's a big deal. But he does say before Martin leaves that he's rooting for Martin and Annika, which was a strange thing to say. And it made me think, I wonder if he's the one she's been cheating with. But
that crossed my mind as well.
Because it was just a really weird thing. Because he said it sarcastically, like, I'm rooting for you guys.
And then he said... He said, Martin, look, I appreciate what you've done for me here today.
Yeah.
But don't stop by all the time.
Just leave me alone.
Which again, sort of, I thought...
I was thinking it, but it never came to anything.
No, it didn't.
So, mainly because he's dead in a minute. Martin goes to meet up with Annika at this point. He tells her that he misses her, that he doesn't want to be apart from her. But she's not come to hear that. I feel like some time had passed at this point.
Yes,
as well.
I didn't like this scene either.
I didn't like this scene.
I thought it made Annika seem really unsympathetic.
Yeah. And she's the one who's in the wrong, really. She's the
one
who's been
let's just take this part of it. So take this apart a bit. So they're meeting in a public place.
Yeah.
And as far as we know, one of the first times since they've had this huge argument.
Yeah.
And he's left. And Annika thinks, she thinks they're there to discuss logistics of like the kid's birthday.
Yeah, it's one of the kids' birthdays coming up.
Because Martin said, "Oh, well, can I still do a birthday party for him and you do one? And are we going to do two? What are we going to do?" And that then leads to him sort of, from what we see, and I know he's supposed to be the sympathetic character in this movie, try to have an open and honest conversation. Say, look, I apologise. My behaviour's not been good enough.
Yeah. It's only 10 minutes since these guys were having wild sex in a tent. It's
And okay, I get.
It
Then
all
he
happened
kind of
very quickly.
He kind of clumsily goes on to "I miss you, I miss you."
Yeah.
But before he goes on to all that, "I miss you, I want to get back together," she doesn't even let him have that sort of honest apology and look.
She shuts him down straight away.
Yeah, and I just like that's not.
She's not there for that
I don't
conversation.
think someone would.
No, I don't.
Do that.
Their breakup came very quickly, out of nowhere, and they're both in the wrong. But the film very much makes it out like he's much more in the wrong than she is.
But I just think it made her really unsympathetic,
really did,
basically going, well, I don't want to hear your apology.
She didn't want to hear anything from him at all,
yeah.
other than the logistics of this birthday party. So the point where she just gets up and leaves. She just,
it did.
She
I
walks
just thought,
out.
oh, am I not supposed to like you? Because I kind of liked you as a character.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a well-written scene.
Yeah. We then go into another teaching montage. Basically, Martin's wishing his students good luck with their exam that they're about to get. They're ready for it now. They know what they're doing.
But they say we're confident.
Yeah, they're confident. They're confident that he's taught them well.
Yeah. We think you've covered everything.
Peter then gives the student that you met earlier some help getting through his.
Yeah,
I think it was an oral exam, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
French oral or something. But he did give him a drink to get him through it. But he gets him through it and he smashes it. Tommy, though, just decides he's going out on a boat trip.
It feels like he's not really left the house.
No. He's definitely been left behind by his friends.
Takes his old dog.
Takes his dog out on a boat.
Out into the harbour.
Yeah. Martin's students all pass their exam. They're all celebrating after this at this point. And they're all really happy. Peter
sings, they all get a nice hat.
Yeah. Peter's mate is the guy who he's just helped through this oral. He also did. And then we cut back to Tommy's boat. And it is now adrift.
Yeah.
And the dog is on board and we do not see Tommy.
We don't.
We do not see Tommy again. He's not there. This dog's just alone on this boat adrift. There's a party going on at the school. It's obviously graduation day.
Yeah.
We see from a distance Nicolaj approaches Martin, whispers something in his ear.
Yeah.
Martin sits down, looking devastated.
Yes. And
then we cut to a funeral. Basically, it is just they're all pallbearing at this funeral. Tommy's dead.
This lacked
100%
the emotional heft it was supposed to have.
It really did.
And I think it's because of how quickly we went through this. Tommy's got a problem. Yeah, now he's dead.
Now he's dead all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And you don't even see him die. He's just not on his boat anymore. Peter's football team sing a song at the funeral. It's very strange. They're all crying on their way back. They all know that this is down to them. This is their not fault, but this is the reason this has happened is because of this experiment.
Do you not think there was a huge piece of missed dramatic opportunity? Because we never had the knowledge right from the start of this movie when they've started these experiments that Tommy was a risk.
No, we never had that knowledge. I don't think they had that knowledge. I think it's just happened. I think it's just happened. It's just one of those things that's like he's got into drink and he's got too deep into drink and it's just happened very quickly.
But the speed with which that storyline was executed in this movie just
doesn't work.
That it had no emotional heft to it whatsoever.
It doesn't work
that was
out.
my take on it. Anyway.
And then the end of this movie happens now. And well, I'll come to it,
the
but
funeral's
it doesn't sit right.
Less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they're almost they're at the wake. I took.
Yeah, I think they were. They're in the same restaurant that they were in earlier. There's just the three of them there. And this guy who's just been buried, they've just buried their best friend because of his alcohol problem. They decide to toast him with a drink.
Yeah.
And they all have a drink. They all get drunk.
And then the party bus comes past.
Yeah, the party bus with all the students on. While this is all going on as well, Annika's texting Martin saying how much she misses him now. She wants him back because her boyfriend's dead. Oh, we've cracked it. We've cracked this Oscar-winning film. She's texting him a lot. The party bus comes back. Goes by. Martin texts Annika back with, "I think Tommy was rooting for me and you."
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, he was. He told you that. It's really strange. So then they just party with their graduates, these students that are all getting drunk.
They follow the party bus out onto the docks.
Yes, basically.
Peter gets the bumps from his students.
Yeah. And it's like a massive... This film ends on a massive party.
Well, yeah. And then Martin busts out his famous jazz ballet.
Yeah, he does.
And the last, 2.5 minutes of this movie has gone all like weapon of choice. It's all like Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it really has.
Mads Mikkelsen is pulling some brilliant shape.
Dude's got some moves. I've written that down. Literally that. Dude's
using a bench.
he's bouncing around all over the place. It's a great little shot. It's a great little scene, but not
a
for
lovely
this film.
sequence. It's a lovely sequence, and I think it's supposed to make me come out with a bit of a high. The guy's happy, and I'm just like, God, you guys have moved on quick.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I know I feel like I know the effect this was supposed to have on me, and I'm like, nah, this ain't work for me.
I agree. I'm glad you've said that, because I was like, I've either missed something here, or this is a really weird message this film's giving me. I'm not quite sure what's happening. He's dancing around, and the film ends with him jumping into the sea.
Yeah.
The film pauses on him just as he's jumped off the dock.
Freeze frame.
And then the film ends.
Yeah.
That's really strange. I didn't understand the ending of this film, I'm not going to lie.
Martin's happy. He's got a chance back with his wife.
I'll bring this down quickly. There's a dedication at the end of this film.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It says, for Ida. I did a bit of research. It turns out Ida is the daughter of the director of this film.
Yeah.
She was cast in this film as well. She was supposed to be playing Martin's daughter. In the original script, he has a daughter and a son rather than 2 sons. Unfortunately, 4 days into filming this film, she was killed in a road traffic accident.
Wow.
And the director carried on making this film, and they recast a male instead of a female.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, it really
Carry
is.
on making this, which is going to remind you of your daughter every day.
Every single day. And then to get an Oscar nomination for it must have been tough times for the director of this film. But yeah, so I thought it was a really sad end to this film.
So you're gonna read that off, and that'll make me tell you why I didn't like it.
Yeah, why didn't you like this film? Sorry. I'll go first. I didn't like this film. I don't think it's. I don't. This isn't the sort of film that we started this podcast to do. This isn't the sort of film that I want to be doing on this podcast. This arty-farty bollocks. It is, and it just is, and it isn't my sort of thing. I didn't enjoy it. There's nothing to enjoy here. I don't understand the message. I don't understand that ending. Is the message that alcoholism is bad because it kills you, but also it's quite good when you can have a party?
I think it's about how
it lost me completely.
Look, it worked out nicely for Martin. It did not work out well for
Tommy.
He
lost one of his best friends and his wife. Well, he's about to get back together with his wife,
but he's got his joie de vivre back.
Yeah, the experiment part of this film is an interesting concept.
Yeah,
it didn't go on. They lost control of their experiment very quickly, and the pacing's all over the place.
I think that's it. I think the pacing and the balance of this movie is all over the shop for me. But
are we missing something? Why has this film got an Oscar for Best International Feature?
Well, objectively, though, is this a good film? Objectively, it's not your sort of film. It's got good performances in.
It's got good performances in. They all play drunk.
Got an intriguing concept. Yeah, it has. Yeah, they're all. There's no bad performance in this.
No.
It's well directed.
Yeah,
looks pretty. Good locations.
It's
objectively.
Yeah,
it's not a bad film.
It's the sort of film that.
It's not my sort of film. It's not my
sort of film. It's the sort of film that Oscar people go for. It's a film with a message. I could name you better foreign movies from 2020.
Yeah. This didn't pull me in.
No, it didn't pull me in. I didn't enjoy it at all.
I didn't.
It's far too long.
I've got some issues with the script. I didn't really like Martin.
No.
I liked Nicolaj.
I think Nicolaj was probably the favourite.
He felt real.
Peter was kind of a spare character. He didn't really do anything.
No, he just made up
the numbers because it couldn't be 3 of them. Tommy had his small relationship with his football team, but I don't know. Whether I've missed something here, I don't know. But I didn't like it, and I didn't get it.
I mean, I must say the whole drinking it did make me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that
because they're all partying and happy at the end of this film, even though their best mates just died, and they're all drinking.
Back on it at the end.
Back on it at the end. So the message of the film is. If the message of the film is drinking is bad,
because what you don't see is any of these surviving characters continuing on their good performance at work, better family situations. You you don't see that continuing once the experiment and the drinking stopped. So we don't know. That's all left to us to decide.
Yeah.
Are things just going to revert to Martin back to where they were in a year?
Is he going to stop drinking and go back to the man he was, or is he going to keep doing this and maybe eventually kill himself off?
Or is his second chance?
Can he keep himself at 0.05% and live this life that this experiment was supposed to be showing? That killing off the Tommy character ruined it slightly.
What did that add to this movie?
It didn't add anything to this movie, and it really confused the message.
Yeah.
And plus, he wasn't a character that I really cared about.
I didn't. If that death hadn't have happened, it didn't need that drama.
It didn't.
It didn't need that drama, and it lacked. Like I say, it didn't. I wasn't invested, and it didn't give me any emotional heft in doing that. It was, for me, unnecessary.
Listen,
to kill that guy off.
Yeah, I agree. Listen to me and you ripping apart Oscar-winning movies when we watched Smart Christmas last week.
But I didn't dislike this.
I did. I'll go that far.
I thought it went... I wasn't bored. There's loads of it I didn't like. Did I dislike? I might have disliked it.
I did dislike it.
I don't know if I disliked it. It's not me. It's not for me.
It isn't the sort of film that I want to be doing.
I didn't find it interesting.
No.
And I wasn't invested. Does that mean I disliked it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It isn't the sort of film we should be doing on the show, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe we've made a mistake by allowing it on, but like we said at the beginning, this show is all about different things and seeing different things that we wouldn't normally see. Yeah. And this isn't what I was expecting, and maybe that's clouded me slightly. Also, there's no dub. That definitely clouded me. Fucking no dubs. There was such a wordy film as well.
But I wasn't blown away by the direction.
No, I wasn't.
Fine.
That's why I don't understand.
But it wasn't. I wasn't blown away, and the performances were good, but I wasn't blown away by them.
No, I wasn't blown away by. I don't understand why this film's winning Oscars and getting Oscar nominations. I just don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we've slagged it off enough. What's the worst? What do I ask here? What would you change about it? No, what's the best thing about it?
There's two things. I like the concept. I think there's a really interesting concept here.
Yeah.
And it's the character of Nicolaj.
Yeah,
I could have just seen more of him bumbling around with his family.
Yeah, I think the performances are all great, but I think he stole it a little bit.
He was the character that most I wanted to spend more time with.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. What would you change about it?
I could just... People don't always have to die.
No. It didn't even add any drama.
No.
It didn't change any of their feelings. It didn't change any of their opinions on drinking. He died for nothing.
And I don't even think it had the impact of, like, if you're doing a sort of be careful, drink can be dangerous. By the fact we didn't see that sort of descent of that character.
Yeah.
I don't even think it achieved that.
No, I don't think it did.
It wasn't impactful in that sort of, this is saying something about alcoholism and the dangers of that. And that was all left on the table as well. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam. I think you've wasted your wild card on this season.
No, look. I'm glad I watched it.
Okay.
I didn't feel it was a waste of my time. It's not my thing.
Same. It's definitely not my thing. It's not for me. Stream table?
Yeah.
Want me to read them all, what we've got?
So far? It's only a little stream table.
7 in there currently. Currently number 7 is Smart Christmas. Number 6 is Needle in a Time Stack. Number 5 is The Cleanse. Number 4 is The Giver. Number 3 is Double World. Number 2 is Nature Reborn. And number 1 is Old People. Where's this lying, Nick? I know where it's going for me.
I really, as much as I would like to put this above The Giver, just to wind you up, I can't do it.
No, you can't.
I can't do it. I am putting this 6th.
Below The Cleanse?
Below The Cleanse, above Needle in a Time Stack.
That's exactly where I had it as well. It's not as bad as Needle in a Time Stack.
No, it's not. It's no way.
But The Cleanse is better. The Cleanse is a better film.
The Cleanse interested me more.
Yes.
6 out of 8
for an Oscar-winning movie. Fucking hell.
Them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks, indeed.
You're in our house now. This is our rules.
That's it. Boxkers are better than Oscars, then.
Exactly.
Do you want to pick next week's film?
Yeah, I think we've done enough on another round.
I agree.
Well, it's a film for 2 weeks' time.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, we're not going to do a show next week.
Yeah.
Either show next week. So yeah, this film will be in the second week of the new year.
Correct. We will kick off 2023.
And we're bringing out Robin. Nobody's played a wild card.
No.
So let's bring out Robin.
Robin, the randomizer. What will she give us?
Indeed. What would you like it to give you?
Well, we've not really had so far this season. We've not really had a comedy, have we?
No, probably not. The Cleanse is probably the closest we've got.
Yeah.
Comedy?
We've not really had an action film either.
No. Needle in a Time
We've had a
Stack
couple
tried
of
to
martial
do
arts types, but not a full-on just sort
Yeah.
of explosions and muscles and...
cop dramas.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Maybe something like that. Yeah, go for it.
Robin has picked us a film called The Ledge.
End.
Nope. Just The Ledge. Any ideas?
Yeah, it's that one starring... Is it Sam Worthington?
That's Man on Ledge?
Okay.
That doesn't sound right.
So this is a prequel, and it's about how the ledge was built.
Could be.
That he later stands on.
I'm not sure that is called Man on Ledge. That sounds wrong.
I don't know.
You'll have to look it up.
To
now.
Google that now. Is it? It might not even be Sam Worthington. I might have just totally made a film.
Man on a Ledge, Sam Worthington,
Oh, there you go.
2012. No, this is not that. This is
Okay.
just called The Ledge. There's no man involved.
That's the origin story of the piece of concrete.
It's relatively new. It came out in March 2022.
Oh wow!
So
Okay.
yeah, relatively new. Do you want the synopsis?
Yes, please.
IMDb has it as a thriller. That's it.
Okay.
There's one genre. The synopsis says, a rock climbing adventure between two friends turns into a terrifying nightmare. After Kelly captures the murder of her best friend on camera, she becomes the next target of a tight-knit group of friends who will stop at nothing to destroy the evidence and anyone in their way. Desperate for her safety, she begins a treacherous climb up a mountain cliff, and her survival instincts are put to the test when she becomes trapped with the killers just 20 feet away.
Okay.
Woman on Ledge.
Woman on ledge.
5.1 on IMDb.
That's
Very
surprisingly high.
mediocre. Brittany Ashworth and Ben Lamb are
Okay.
in it.
I love those guys.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of Brittany Ashworth. Cool.
Well, all I'm saying is,
Good poster. Seen the
you know,
poster.
rock climbing movies,
Do well
or
on this
just
show.
climbing movies. I'm thinking of the Dawn Wall
Season
way
one-
back,
Season 1 winner.
and then last season when Ross Cook's wild card
Summit of the
was
Gods.
Summit of the Gods. So climbing
Came
movies
second,
do
I
pretty
think.
well.
Climbing movies do well on this show.
Can the ledge?
I love it that we've been doing this show long enough now that climbing movies is a genre that does well on this show. That's how long we've been doing this show for. Yeah, so go out and watch.
It might only be these three, but it's a subgenre.
It's a
Granted.
subgenre indeed. So yeah, it's only on for just under an hour and a half, so it's quite a short, nippy one.
Yeah.
So go out and watch The Ledge, and in the meantime, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast is the address for all of those. If you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On the website, you will find all the stream tables, every episode we've ever recorded, loads of other cool stuff, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Wigwam.
wigwam. I think you've done wigwam before.
Oh God.
Positive you have. Boxing gloves because it's Boxing Day.
Oh,
no, it's
nice.
not. Shit.
Save.
It was Boxing Day a few days ago. Yeah, after you've done all of that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there, for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You will get bonus episodes. You will get a newsletter that Nick writes every month. And if you come in at the top level, you can do what Samble Holland has just done, but try and do it a bit better and play a wild card, which means you can pick the film that we watch the following week. After you've done all of that, head over to Discord. The Discord link will be in the show notes. In the Discord, you will meet lots of cool movie-loving people who will be there to chat and talk to you whenever you want about whatever you want. We play games, we do watch-alongs, we do all sorts of cool stuff in the Discord. The Discord link will be in the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review or a rating anywhere you can review or rate podcasts. That can be places such as Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all those places. More places, all the places. Come and
Loads
find
of
us
places.
at the places.
If you find a place we're not in, let us know and we'll be in it.
Yeah, we'll get in the place.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Cool.
I'm really excited to watch The Ledge.
Me too. I'm really looking forward to it.
I love how this show bounces us around.
All over the place. It is all over the place, this show. We're about to start a new year. Another year of Bottom of the Stream is about to be embarked upon. Started this show in 2019?
Yes.
It's 2023 now. That's 4 years of this show coming up on. I love doing this show with you, man. It's great.
Yes, and as it is our last show of the year, just a big thank you to everyone who has listened, downloaded, even if it's just once, even if it's more than once, even if it's multiple times, every episode.
Some people watch every film and listen to every episode.
We love you all.
These people are crazy.
And
we do.
We couldn't have imagined having as many listeners as we do when we started this thing off. So, carry on spreading the word. Come and join us in the Discord. And big thank you to everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So with that, let's get out of here. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you have a good New Year. Be safe. Get drunk. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll be back next year for The Wave and then the movie show every Monday, every Thursday.
Cheers.
Bye.